Praise the Lord. Hi, everybody. Welcome you all to this next session on the chapter of probability. Dear students, in the previous session, we have dealt the 3-marker question on Bayes' theorem, and we are going to continue few more questions related to the same concept. Okay. I believe that you have already gone through the previous questions and you have worked it out clearly. You have got an idea of what Bayes' theorem is all about. Now we are going to solve the other few questions which has been asked in the previous year's examination for 3 marks. Okay, there are few more questions which have been asked on the same basis of Bayes' theorem. Okay, hope you enjoy the session, and I'm not going to take much of your time now. We'll directly go on to the next question on Bayes' theorem. The first question for the day is as follows. An insurance company insured 2,000 scooter drivers, 4,000 car drivers, and 6,000 truck drivers. Okay. Now, the probability of an accident is 0.01, 0.03, and 0.15 respectively. That is the probability of accidents of each person. That is, the probability of accidents of a scooter driver is 0.01, of a car driver is 0.03, and of a truck driver is 0.15. This is the meaning of respectively. Now, one of the insured person meets with an accident. Okay. Now, what is the probability that he is a scooter driver? The question goes like this. Now, we are going to frame the events accordingly and find the solution with the help of Bayes' theorem. Okay. So, the sample space here, in this case, I'm going to divide into 3 partitions, namely E1, E2, and E3. So, dear students, I'm going to consider E1. Okay. I'm going to consider E1 is scooter driver is insured. Okay. Scooter driver is insured. Okay. Therefore, P of E1. What is the probability of scooter driver being insured? Remember, there are 2,000 scooter drivers which are insured. Okay. Out of totally, there are actually 2,000 scooter drivers, 4,000 car drivers, and 6,000 truck drivers. Actually, there are 12,000 of them. Okay. And this is nothing but 2001s and 2006. So the probability of a scooter driver being insured is 1 out of 6. Okay. Similarly, I'm going to frame E2 as the car driver is insured. Okay. The car driver is insured. I'm going to frame. Therefore, probability of E2 is, remember, there are 4,000 car drivers who are insured out of 12,000. Okay. This is nothing but 4,000 once and 4,000 3 times. 4,000 3 times is 12,000. Okay. Similarly, my last partition E3, here you can guess already. Yes, you are sure, you are correct. Truck driver. Okay. Truck driver is insured. It's very easy to understand this question, and remember, this question has been asked 2 times in your main exam, and one is the one in the other paper which has not come for the main exam. Okay, so probability of E3 is, remember, there are 6,000 truck drivers who are insured out of 12,000. So this is nothing but 6,000 once and 6,000 twice is 12,000. Okay, so I have already got my events E1, E2, and E3. Okay, now let me frame the event E. This is very important. You should be very careful how you are going to frame E. Okay, now framing E is as follows. Let me frame it as a person meets with an accident. Okay, a person meets with an accident, or you can say there is an accident which has occurred. Okay, now my probability of, remember, what is the probability of an accident happening to the what? Scooter driver. Okay, the probability of accident happening to the scooter driver is, he is already given 0.01. Okay, similarly, probability of E given E2 is 0.03. You can see here it is already in the question as a data, and similarly, probability of E given E3, that is accident happened for the truck driver, is 0.15. Okay, now with this, now I'm going to think of what is the required probability. Okay, so the required probabilities, remember, it is nothing but probability of the event as the accident has already appeared, isn't it? Remember, conditional event means the first condition should already be finished, accomplished. Okay, now the probability of there is already an accident, what is the probability that he becoming the question, remember, what is the probability that he is a scooter driver? Here I have considered scooter driver as E1, so I want probability of E1 given E. Now once this is cleared, my next work is very simple. So this would be using my Bayes theorem, P of E1 into P of E given E1 whole divided by P of E1 into P of E given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of E given E2 plus probability of E3 into probability of E given E3. Okay, so this is the concept here. Now once I already have the data here, let me take this. Probability of E1 is 1 out of 6. So it is 1 by 6 into probability of E given E1 is actually it is 0.01. Okay, is it clear? Now divided by, what happens? Write down the same thing, 1 by 6 into 0.01 plus probability of E2 is actually 1 by 3 into probability of E given E2 is 0.03 plus probability of E3 is 1 by 2 into probability of E given E3 is 0.15. Okay, now you might feel that this calculation is quite hectic, but I'm going to make some arrangements here. So I'm going to write the numerator as it is, 1 divided by 6 into 0.01. Okay, and the denominator, in the denominator I'm going to consider 1 by 6 common. Okay, in the denominator if I consider 1 by 6 common, see what happens. Here I already have 1 by 6, so it is 0.01. Okay, now we know that 2 times 1 by 6 is 1 by 3, so it is 2 into 0.03 plus 3 times 1 by 6 would be 1 by 2. Okay, so it is 3 into 0.15. Okay, let me close the bracket. Now in the numerator and denominator I can cancel 1 by 6 and see what happens. This is nothing but 0.01 divided by now this becomes a very easy calculation. It is 0.01 plus 2 times 0.03 is 0.06 plus 0.15 into 3, you can use your calculators, it is 0.45. Okay, so this is nothing but 0.01 divided by, so add up the terms, 0.01 plus 0.06 plus 0.45 will be nothing but 0.52. Okay, so this is nothing but, if you want to write it in the fraction form, it is actually 1 divided by 52, or else if you want to write it in the decimal form, it would approximately be 0.0192. Okay, so easy calculation, or else approximation you may keep somewhere around here, or you need not follow the same procedure. You can use the decimal form of it. You are going to get almost very near answer. Okay, students, these are very simple questions. Only thing is you have to understand the concept clearly and then go on working the problem using Bayes theorem. Okay, fine. I hope you have understood this question. Remember, this question is also a probable question for your main examination. Fine. Yes, we are moving on to the next question. The next question has been asked in the year March 2016 for 3 marks. It reads like this. Box 1 contains 2 gold coins, while another box 2 contains 1 gold coin and 1 silver coin. Okay, now remember, in first box I have 2 coins which are both are gold, so there are no silver coins. Totally there are 2 coins. In the second box I have 1 gold coin and 1 silver coin, therefore totally 2 coins. Okay, now a person chooses a box at random. First you have to select one of the box and take out a coin, one of the coin. Okay, now if the coin is of gold, okay, remember in the first box you have 2 gold coins. Okay, and in the second box, let me call it as box 1. Okay, in the second box you have 2 coins again, which is box 2. So in the first box both are gold, in the second box one is gold and silver. You can call it as G and G. Here it is gold and silver. Okay, consider this. Okay, now what is the probability that the other coin in the box is also of gold? Remember, a person chooses a box at random and takes out a coin. He first selects one of the boxes and picks one of the coin. If the coin is of gold, the selected coin will be gold coin. Okay, what is the probability that the other coin in the box is also of gold? Now let me frame my events as follows, which as we have already done in the previous problems in the last session. I am framing E1 as selecting box 1. Okay, I am framing E1 as selecting box 1. Therefore, probability of E1 would be, we know there are 2 boxes, so this is nothing but 1 by 2. Okay, similarly, I'm going to frame the second event E2 as selecting box 2. Okay, I'm going to frame it as selecting box 2. Therefore, probability of E2 is once again, it is 1 by 2. Okay, now I'm going to frame the event as E. You can guess. Yes, so Chitra, any idea? Fine. The event E would be selecting a gold coin, because if the coin is of gold, he is telling. So now the event E would be selecting a gold coin. Okay, now with this, okay, now let us start calculating what is P of E given E1. Means what is the probability of getting a gold coin provided that the first bag is selected. Now remember, if first box is selected, both are of gold. Okay, you pick any out of any 2 coins, you pick any coin, both will be gold. So the probability of getting a gold coin here is 2 out of 2. That is nothing but 1. Means this is a sure event. Okay, similarly, the probability of getting a gold coin if the second bag is selected would be, remember, in the second box, there is only 1 gold coin. So it is only 1 out of 2, right? So you can keep it as it is, or if you want, you can write it in the decimal form as 0.5. Okay, now remember, the main question is, what is my required probability? Okay, so the required probability is probability of, remember, my coin E means gold coin is already selected. Now my question is whether it is probability of E1 given E or E2 given E. Okay, now there is a logic over here. He is asking you what is the probability that the other coin in the box is also of gold. Remember, he is trying to twist the question. Once one coin is of gold, what is the chance the other coin will also be of gold? The other coin will be of gold only if box 1 is selected, isn't it? Because only in box 1 we have both our gold coins. In case if I select box 2, once I have selected a gold coin, the next time you are going to get the silver coin. So remember, this is the way of asking what is the probability of selecting that coin from box 1. So I want probability of E1 given E. Once this is clear, I think you can do it by your own self. So the formula using the Bayes theorem is probability of E1 into probability of E given E1 divided by, okay, you can make your work look neat, okay, divided by probability of E1 into probability of E given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of E given E2. Okay, so this is nothing but, what is probability of E1? You can see it is half. Okay, so it is half into probability of E given E1 is actually 1. Okay, divided by, now what is probability of E1? Again, it is half into probability of E given E1 is 1 plus probability of E2 is also half, and probability of E given E2 is, that is also half. Okay, so this is nothing but 1 by 2 into half, 1 would be 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 would be 1 by 4. Okay, so this is nothing but, you can better use a decimal form, 0.5 divided by 0.5 plus 0.25. Remember, 1 by 4 is nothing but 0.25. So this is nothing but 0.5 divided by 0.75. Okay, so this would be, use your calculator and write the answer. So if you want to write it in decimal form, you're going to get 0.666. This is a non-terminating recurring decimal, or else if you use it using the fraction method, actually you're going to get 2 divided by 3. Actually means this is actually, you will get 50 divided by 75. Okay, so 50 divided by 75 is nothing but 25 2s and 25 3s are. It's up to you which method you want to write. Whatever it is, the main answer would be this, and you're going to get 3 marks easily. Okay, this question has been asked just once, so you need not break your head. Okay, whatever it is. If it is asked again, I hope you can easily solve this. Okay, right. Shall we move on to the next question? Dear students, the next question which has been asked in the previous years for 3 marks is as follows. A die is tossed thrice. Find the probability of getting an odd number. Okay, you have to kind of find the probability of getting an odd number at least once. Okay, remember, a die is tossed thrice, or you can think of throwing a die 3 times. Okay, remember, there are 3 different ways, or you might think about all the 3 ones, or 3 different combinations. But my question is, I have to find out what is the probability of getting an odd number at least once. You can see here, I've got 2, 2 and 5. Now I've got odd number, or at least once. Now think of trying it again. I got 1, 5 and 6. So I got 2 odd numbers. Or you can think of, now think here, it is 3, 2 and 4. I've got at least once. Now if you think about this, now this is a combination where you have no odd number. Now my question is, what is the probability of getting an odd number at least once? Okay, so dear students, this question is not related to Bayes theorem. Okay, but still this question has been asked in the previous years for 2 times for 3 marks. Okay, this is very simple compared to Bayes theorem, and we're going to solve this now. So because the question is about throwing a die, let me write the sample space. I have sample spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, therefore the number of elements in the sample space is 6. Okay, now I'm going to frame the event E as, okay, getting an odd number. Okay, frame an event E as getting an odd number. Okay, therefore what is event E? So the elements relate, which are the odd numbers here? We know it is 1, 3 and 5. Okay, therefore the number of elements in the event E is nothing but 3. Therefore, what is probability of an event E is nothing but n of E divided by n of S, that is nothing but 3 divided by 6. So it is 1 by 2. We know probability of getting an odd number is 1 by 2. Therefore, probability of E dash, that is E complement, is same as 1 minus probability of an event. This is nothing but 1 minus 1 by 2. So it is 1 by 2. Okay, now once this has happened, I want required probability. What is my required probability? So required probability is probability of at least one head. Sorry, at least one odd number. Probability of at least one odd number. I'm going to consider it in the reverse order. Okay, probability of getting one odd is nothing but 1 minus probability of getting no odd number. Okay, no odd number. Let me write it as number. If I want at least one, the reverse of it is, I'll check out in how many of them there are no odd numbers itself. So in the total, if I take away the cases where I have no odd numbers, I will get back at least one odd number. Okay, because this is simpler to find rather than this. Okay, so this is nothing but 1 minus probability of, remember, there is no odd number even in the first throw. Okay, or in the second throw or in the third throw. And okay, even in the first throw there is no odd number, second throw there is no odd number, and third throw there is no odd number. Okay, so this is nothing but probability of, remember, these are independent events because getting an odd number and even number are independent events. So I'm going to write probability of E dash into probability of E dash into probability of E dash, means E complement. Okay, so this is nothing but 1 minus, you have already calculated probability of E dash is 1 by 2. Similarly, 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. This is nothing but 1 minus, this is 1 divided by 1 by 8, isn't it? So you are going to get 1 minus 1 by 8 is actually, if you take the LCM, you'll get 8 minus 1 divided by 8 is nothing but 7 by 8. And this is my required probability. Okay, you can see here, this is a very simple question, and you can watch, it has already been asked at least 2 times in your previous year examination. Okay, fine, very simple question, isn't it? Yes. Dear students, let us consider few more identical questions, similar questions of the same type. Though they are not been asked, there are chances that being asked. Okay, now given 3 identical boxes 1, 2 and 3, there are 3 boxes 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now each containing 2 coins. So in each boxes there are 2 coins. Okay, now in box 1 both are gold coins. Okay, so I will consider this as first box, second box and third box. Okay, so you can check here, in box contains both are gold coins. So in the first box both the coins are gold, so there are no silver coins. In box 2 both are silver coins, so no gold coins in the box 2 and both are silver coins. And in box 3 there is 1 gold and 1 silver, so third box 1 gold and 1 silver. Okay, a person chooses a box at random and takes out a coin. If the coin is of gold, what is the probability that the other coin in the box is also of gold? Okay, this is very similar to the question we just tried it now. Okay, let us frame the partition of the sets as follows. E1 is selecting box 1. Okay, what is the probability of selecting box 1? Therefore, probability of E1 is, remember, there are 3 boxes. Selecting the first box is 1 out of 3. Okay, similarly, E2 is selecting box 2. I'm going to frame E2 as selecting box 2. Therefore, probability of E2 is 1 out of 3. Similarly, I'm going to frame E3 as selecting box 3. Okay, therefore probability of E3 is also 1 out of 3 because there are 3 boxes. Probability of selecting any one of the boxes 1 out of 3. Okay, once these are ready, I'm going to frame the event E. What is event E? You can guess. Yes, Raju, it is selecting a gold coin. Okay, so event E, I'm going to consider it as selecting a gold coin. Therefore, probability of what is the selecting gold coin from first box. Remember, probability of selecting gold coin from first box is there are both are gold coins 2 out of 2. That is nothing but 1. Okay. Similarly, probability of selecting a gold coin from the second box is there are no gold coins in the second box. So 0 out of 2, that is nothing but 0. And similarly, probability of selecting a gold coin from the third box is nothing but 1 out of 2 because there is 1 gold and 1 silver. This is, if you want it, you can write it as 0.5. Okay. Therefore, my required probability is, remember, it is similar. What is the probability that other coin in the box is also gold? This is very similar to the previous question. Remember, the one coin is already selected of gold. Okay, the chances the other gold will definitely be, the second throw will also be gold only if it is selected from box 1. So I considered box 1 as E1. So the required probability is E1 given E. Okay. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ನನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತೆಗೆಯೋ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ 1ಇಂದನೇ ತೆಗೆಯಲ್ಪಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ 2ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ 3ಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಮೊದಲು ತೆಗೆದಿರೋ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎರಡನೇ ಬಾರಿ ತೆಗೆಯೋದು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬರುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ದೇ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟಿನ E1 ಗಿವನ್ E ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನಾವು ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ you don't need much explanation from here because I'm going to use the formula from Bayes theorem. So that is P of E1 into P of E given E1 divided by, yes, hereafter it is just your basic knowledge of the Bayes theorem. So P of E1 into P of E given E1 plus P of E2 into probability of E given E2 plus P of E3 into probability of E given E3. Okay, so this is nothing but take down the values, everything is here. Probability of E1 is 1 by 3 and E given E1 is 1. Okay, divided by, just substituting the values, don't need much explanation here. So it is 1 by 3 into 1 plus 1 by 3 into E given E2 is 0 plus 1 by 3 into, remember that E given E3 is 0.5. Okay, so this is nothing but this is 1 by 3 divided by, in the denominator if I take 1 by 3 common, I'm just left over with 1 plus, okay, 0 plus 0.5. Okay, so this is nothing but, I can cancel 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. I'm left over with 1 divided by, you add up the terms, 1 plus 0 plus 0.5 will be 1.5. Okay, so 1 divided by 1.5, you can get it, actually you'll get 10 divided by 15, which is nothing but 5 2s are and 5 3s are. So the answer would be 2 divided by 3. Okay, if you want it in the decimal form, you can use your calculator. You are going to get 0.666, and this is a non-terminating recurring decimal. Okay, so this is the solution for the above given question. Dear students, kindly note down these type of questions because it's easy to calculate them. There are more chances of these type of questions being asked even in your CET examination. Okay. Right, hope you have understood this question and we shall move on to the next question. Dear students, let's move on to the next question. This is quite challenging question. You can find this question in the miscellaneous exercise of your textbook. Okay, this is a challenging question, may be applicable for your CET questions. Remember, bag 1 contains 3 red balls and 4 black balls. Okay, let me consider this is first bag and second bag, and let me think of red and I think it is black. Okay, black balls. In the first bag, there are 3 red balls and 4 black balls. Okay, totally there are 7 balls. Is it clear? Now, next, similarly, in the box 2, think about box 2 and bag 2. Okay, bag 2 contains 4 red and 5 black balls. Okay, totally there are 9 black total balls. Okay, now one ball is transferred from bag 1 to bag 2. Please be careful, dear students. It needs some understanding part to know this question. Please remember, there is one ball which is being transferred from from bag 1 to bag 2. I'm transferring one ball. Okay, please be careful. One ball is transferred from bag 1 to bag 2 and then a ball is drawn from bag 2. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 3 ರೆಡ್ಡು 4 ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 4 ರೆಡ್ಡು 5 ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬಾಲ್ನ ಎರಡನೇ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಎರಡನೇ ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಬಾಲ್ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ದ ಬಾಲ್ ಸೋ ಡ್ರಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ವೆನ್ ಈ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಬಾಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯೋರ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ probability that the transferred ball is black. Okay, now my question is, there are, when I am transferring a ball from box 1 to box 2, I may transfer even the red ball or a black ball. The question is, what is the probability that the transferred ball is black? Okay, so let us see how we can solve this, and I'm going to frame the event E1 and E2 accordingly, quite a little bit change compared to the previous problems. So I'm going to frame E1 as transferred. Okay, transferred ball is black. Okay, I'm going to consider the transferred ball is black. Therefore, think about it. Probability of E1 means, what is the probability of selecting a black ball from the bag 1? It would actually be 4 out of 7. ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ನಾನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆದ ಬಾಲ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ಸು 4 out of 7. ರೈಟ್? ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ E2 ಆಸ್ transferred ball is red. Okay, these are the only chances which would happen when I am transferring the ball. Therefore, probability of E2 will be 3 out of 7. Okay, probability of selecting a black ball is 4 out of 7. Probability of selecting a red ball is 3 out of 7. Okay, isn't it? Now, framing the event E as selecting red ball from bag 2. Okay, selecting red ball from bag 2. Okay, so this is how I am framing the event E. Now I want probability of E given E1. Okay, now what is the probability of selecting a red ball? If I have transferred black ball, first case is E1. Okay, E1 means black ball is given there. So remember, when one ball is given, actually ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಅವಾಗ 6 ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೋಟಲ್ 10 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ರೆಡ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? What is the probability of selecting a red ball after a black ball is transferred is, remember, it would always be, if black is transferred, it is like +1. Okay. If red is transferred, it is +1 and +1. If black is transferred, then it would be +1 and +1. Okay. The process goes in this way. Okay. Remember, this is just for your understanding. Okay, don't write this in examination. Okay, so the probability of selecting a red ball once a black ball is given is nothing but a red ball would be 4 and the total balls would be 10, remember, because one ball is already transferred. Similarly, probability of selecting a red ball, okay, once a red ball is transferred is, remember, if red ball is transferred, there would be 5 red balls out of 10. Okay, further if you want, you can divide. This is 2 2s are and 2 5s are. This is 5 1s are and 5 2s are. Okay, so most of my work is over. I want my required probability. Okay, so required probability is probability of, remember, event E has already appeared, means ball is already been selected. Okay, once the ball, that is red ball, is already been selected, what is the probability that the transferred ball is black? Consider, I've considered black as E1, so I want probability of E1 given E. Okay, and once this is clear, my next part is only the formula. Okay, so this is nothing but probability of E1 into probability of E given E1 divided by probability of E1 into probability of E given E1 plus P of E2 into P of E given E2. Okay, so this is nothing but use your values. Probability of E1 is 4 out of 7 into E given E1 is 2 out of 5 divided by, similarly, 4 out of 7 into 2 out of 5 plus probability of E2 is 3 out of 7 into E given E2. What is E given E2? It is 1 out of 2. Okay, so let us multiply this and calculate. So this is nothing but 4 2s are, you will get 4 2s are 8 by 7 5s are 35 divided by, this is also 8 by 35 plus this is 3 1s are 3 divided by 14. Is it clear? You can use your decimal form for this, but I would like to keep it in the fraction form itself. So let me take the LCM of 35 and 14. If you want, you can check it out. The LCM of 35 into 40, 35 and 14 is 70. So 35 2s is 70. So 8 2s will give me 16 plus 14 5s is 70 and 5 3s will be 15. Okay, so this is nothing but 8 divided by 35 whole divided by 16 plus 15. So this is nothing but 31 by 70. Okay, so this I'm going to further simplify this as 8 divided by 35 into, convert the divided sign into, so I'm going to exchange this as 70 by 31. So it's 35 ones are and 35 twos are. So you will get 8 into 2 divided by 31. So this is nothing but 8 twos are 16 by 31. Okay, so this is the final answer for this question, dear students. Very simple question. Only thing is you have to think about it. Think, just give some work for your brain and you can easily do it. Okay, I've just kept it in the fraction form. If you want, from here after you can change the process, use the decimal form. That is, just take 8 by 35, calculate it, and 3 by 14, add and divide. Okay, you would still get the approximation value very near. Is it clear? Fine. You have understood this, isn't it? A very simple question based on the concept of Bayes' theorem. Fine, students. We shall move on to one last question for the session and also the concept of Bayes' theorem. Though there are a few more other questions, I believe that you can solve the other questions on the same basis. Okay. Now let's go through this question I have. In a factory which manufactures bolts, machine A, B and C manufactures respectively. I'm talking about bolts manufacturing company, okay, factory, where I have 3 machines A, B and C. Okay, so A will manufacture 25% of bolts, B manufactures 35%, C manufactures 45% of the bolts. Okay, of their outputs, 5, 4 and 2% are respectively defective bolts. Understand the question? 5% defective from machine A, 4% defective from machine B and 2% from machine C. Okay, a bolt is drawn at random. Okay, for checking, one of the bolt was selected and it was found to be defective. Okay, defective means not working properly. Okay, problematic one. Okay, defective. What is the probability that it is manufactured by machine B? Okay, that defective item, what is the probability of that it belonging to machine B? Okay, so this is the question and we shall go on to the process of solving it. So I'm going to frame my events E1 and E2 and E3 as follows. Okay, consider E1 is, okay, bolt of machine A. Okay, let me consider, I'm considering one of the bolt from machine A. Therefore, probability of E1 is, remember, what is the probability of that bolt belonging to machine A? We know that 25% of the bolts are from machine A. So this is nothing but 0.25. Okay, 25% means 25 by 100, that is nothing but 0.25. Similarly, E2 is, you can frame it, bolt of machine B. Okay, bolt of machine B. Therefore, probability of E2 is, you can see here, 35% bolts belong to machine B. So that is nothing but 0.35. Okay, similarly, the event E3 is bolt of machine C. Right? Therefore, probability of E3 will be, you can see here, it is 40%, sorry, it is 40%. 40% means 0.40 or it is 0.4. Understood? Okay. Now I am going to frame E. Very important, framing E. Framing E is selected bolt is defective. Okay. Selected bolt is defective. Is it clear? Did you understand how I am framing E? Now, very beautiful thing is probability of E given E1. Okay, what is the probability of selecting defective item, that is defective bolt from machine E1, that is machine A. He has already given you, out of the given percentage, 5% are defective. So remember, it is 5%. That defective bolt belonging to E1 means machine A is 5%. 5% means 0.05. Don't make a mistake of writing 0.5. 0.5 is actually 50%. Now similarly, P of E given E2 is defective bolt belonging to machine B is, he has told you 4%. So that is nothing but 0.04. Okay. Similarly, probability of E given E3 is the defective bolt from machine C. It is 2%. This is nothing but 0.02. Okay. Remember, what does this mean? Defective bolt from machine A. Okay, this is just for your understanding part. You need not explain this. It is quite self-explanatory. It is just for your explanation. Similarly, defective bolt from machine B, defective bolt from machine C. Okay. Therefore, what is my required probability? Okay. Required probability is, remember, probability of the defective bolt is already been selected. What is the case that this will belong to machine B? Machine B means E2. Okay, so I want probability of E2 given E. So using the formula of Bayes theorem, probability of E2 given E is as follows. It is probability of E2 into probability of E given E2 divided by probability of E1 into probability of E given E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of E given E2 plus probability of E3 into probability of E given E3. Okay, so this is the formula. let us substitute the values. Probability of probability of E2 is 0.35 into E given E2. E given E2 is 0.04. Okay, so divided by, use your values which is already be here. Probability of E1 is 0.25 into E given E1 is 0.05. Okay, plus E2 is already here, 0.35 into 0.04 plus E3 is 0.4 into 0.02. Is it clear? Fine. So this is nothing but, you can use your calculators, multiply this 0.35 into 0.04. So multiplying this, I would get 0.014, okay, divided by, multiply this once again. So 0.25 into 0.05 is 0.0125, okay, plus 0.35 into 0.04 already we have worked out, 0.014 plus 0.4 into 0.02 would be nothing but 0.008. Okay, so this is nothing but, this is just a calculator work. 0.014 divided by, add these values, 0.0125 plus 0.014 plus 0.008. So it would be 0.0345. Okay, so if you divide this, you're going to get, excuse me students, I had written, actually it is 0.014, I had written 0.14, it is 0.014 divided by 0.0345, this would be 0.4059. Okay, so approximately you can think about 0.406. Okay, so this is the required probability value. So dear students, so this is all about the problems of 3-marker question on the concept of Bayes theorem from the chapter of probability. I hope you have understood this concept clearly, and I believe that you would definitely attempt this question for 3 marks when it is asked in your main examination. Isn't it? ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಯ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಮಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸು ಹೋದ ಸೆಷನಿಂದ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ 10 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆದರೂ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಈ ಥರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ. ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಿಳಿಸಿ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲೈಕ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್, you can like it, share, and if you have still not subscribed it, kindly subscribe the channel and support us, because we are here to support you and help you, and the only support we are going to get from you is like and subscribe. Okay, so I believe that you have enjoyed the session of the critical thinking part. Okay, ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹುಳ ಬಿಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸು ಅಂತ. ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹುಳ ಬಿಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಥರನೇ, ಆದರೂ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್. ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಟ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ which you are watching would make your brain a challenging thing. Okay, right students, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have enjoyed it and also learned the concept of Bayes theorem. So we'll meet again in the next session. Until then, take care and bye.